How do you benchmark AI models in production using real user data? Benchmarking with real user data is really about seeing how your model behaves once the world stops being tidy. It's like taking a drone out of the indoor test room and flying it in real wind for the first time. Suddenly you feel the turbulence, the surprises, the small mistakes you never noticed before. In production, real people send typos, slang, odd patterns, and late-night edge case behavior. That's when accuracy, latency, and user satisfaction reveal their true shape. A fraud model might look perfect until a holiday rush changes spending habits, or a customer support classifier might fail when new product names appear. Interviewers love when you say, production benchmarking is continuous truth-finding, not a one-time score. If they ask why real data matters, the simple answer is that synthetic tests miss the messy beauty of real users. Don't worry if this feels abstract now. Once you watch a model interacting with real traffic, the value becomes obvious and surprisingly intuitive. Key benchmarking strategy. A strong benchmarking strategy feels like a guided loop, where you set expectations, observe real behavior, and refine safely. You start by defining what good means for your use case. Maybe sub-80 millisecond responses for search results, or high recall for fraud alerts. Then you log predictions like a quiet flight recorder, capturing every detail so you can trace outcomes later. Over time, the model drifts, the way a tuned guitar slowly slips out of pitch when the weather changes. That's why ongoing monitoring matters. When you are ready to test improvements, A/B experiments protect your users by exposing only small segments to the new version. Just as streaming platforms trial new ranking tweaks with a fraction of viewers. A ride-hailing app comparing ETA models during peak traffic is another simple example. Interviewers often ask, why A/B at all? The strongest answer is that it lets teams learn fast, without risking the whole experience. Once this loop becomes familiar, it brings a sense of calm control to the entire ML lifecycle. Production benchmarking pipeline. A production pipeline works in two complementary speeds. Like listening to music, we're also studying the sheet notes. Real-time monitoring is the live soundtrack. It catches latency spikes, sudden error bursts, GPU strain, or early signs of user frustration. Picture a recommendation model slowing during a holiday sale. Real-time alerts turn a potential outage into a quick fix. The second speed is offline analysis, the quiet workshop where you study logs in batches and compare model versions over weeks. Here you look for long-term trends, performance regressions, or subtle improvements confirmed by significance tests. Big companies like LinkedIn and Netflix rely heavily on this pattern to keep ranking systems stable. Interviewers love when you say, real-time monitoring protects users. Offline analysis protects decisions. If they ask what offline work uncovers, you can mention seasonal shifts or traffic cycles that short windows never reveal. With practice, this two-speed pipeline becomes second nature and gives you real confidence. Essential metrics to track. These metrics fit together like instruments in a balanced band. Business metrics show whether your model creates real value, better conversions, healthier retention, or smoother engagement. System metrics reveal whether your infrastructure can keep up, especially inference latency or throughput during heavy traffic like ticketing apps on festival days. Model metrics capture the quality of decisions through precision, recall, and F1 scores, which matter deeply for tasks like fraud detection or medical triage. And data quality metrics watch for drift, missing values, or schema breaks, The way a chef notices subtle changes in ingredients before cooking for guests. Interviewers often ask which metric matters most. The confident answer is that the most important metric is the one tied to your product's core promise. Don't worry if these buckets feel like a lot right now. Once you map them to a real system, they form a coherent picture that guides every meaningful improvement. Common follow-up questions. Delayed labels are normal, so teams use proxy signals, like user clicks or lightweight feedback, until verified outcomes appear, much like fraud teams waiting days for bank confirmations. For monitoring, engineers depend on tools like Meters, L-Flow, Prometheus, and Grafana to watch latency, errors, and drift as they evolve. Detecting degradation often means mixing threshold alerts with drift detectors that spot subtle shifts early, the way a retail model notices winter patterns starting to replace summer ones. Retraining happens when performance dips, drift becomes meaningful, or new data arrives. Interviewers like asking, how do you avoid retraining too often? The strongest reply is, you retrain based on evidence, not instinct. You want stable updates, not reactive churn. If someone asks what drift looks like, you could mention new slang, new product names, or seasonal behavior changes. With these patterns in mind, the life cycle becomes smooth, predictable, and far less stressful. Great job learning today. If this helped you feel clearer or more confident for your AI or ML interviews, tap like so more learners can find you. If you want simple guidance for every interview topic, subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. You can share your questions in the comments. I read them, and they help me choose what to teach next. And if you know someone preparing for interviews, feel free to share this with them. Keep going. You're improving with every step. I'm here to help you grow.